Thanks for joining me again today. I hope you've been having a wonderful beginning to your holiday season, to this Christmas season. I know I've been having a good time. I decided this year to really take things slowly because I've had a really busy, hectic year, and I just feel really burnt out and ready to rest. And the season of Advent is really about waiting for Christ and waiting for his appearing. So I really just want to sink into that feeling this year and not rush around and hustle and bustle as much as I usually do. So I've been trying to sink into a calm and centered kind of Christmas season, and that's been working out for me well so far. It's only December 2nd, so we'll see. We'll see how that carries on, but I've been doing a lot of reading in that vein, and so today I wanted to share with you my wrap up for November and what I have been reading finishing up November. I didn't get to as much as I would have wanted because my family was here for the Thanksgiving holiday, and that was very hectic. But I got through more than I thought. And then I have quite a few on the docket for December, quite a few for me. I have 5. And I don't know if I'm going to get through all of those because I'm kind of slow and this is a busy time of year, but we shall see. All of them I'm pretty excited about. So to wrap up November, they're going to flow kind of easily into each other, weirdly enough. So first of all, I think I'm putting down the Iliad officially for a little while because I just haven't gotten to it that much this month. I don't want to put pressure on myself to rush through it in December, so I think I'm just going to officially set this one aside so that I don't keep feeling guilty for not picking it up. I will finish this eventually. I guess I'm not going to finish it by the end of the year, but with classics, it's not important how fast you finish them. It's important that you get through them, I think. So we overvalue speed in our classics reading, so I'm just going to set this one aside until I'm mentally ready, until I have the mental resources again to look at that. So didn't get through the Iliad. Another one that I didn't get through, which I'm a little bit surprised because I was really excited to read this one, it was Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It's not that I wasn't enjoying it. So I got through, let's see, where did I get through? I got to page 252. The reading was a little bit difficult because her language is quite complex, which I like because it really emulates that 19th century writing style really well. I think she's really good at that. And the story setup was really neat. The atmosphere was really good. The characters were turning out to be very interesting. But after 252 pages of that, I just felt like I had had enough. I had just had enough of the atmosphere, and I'd had enough of the characters, and I had just had my fill of this spooky world that she was building. I didn't feel as pressing of a need with some novels to really find out what happens in the end. I feel like I can kind of see how things will work out and how the characters will work together in the end, or not work together in the end, or how their relationship will work out and the conflict will work out. And I had just kind of had enough, so I decided to put this one down and not make myself pick it up anymore. And I say make myself, I was enjoying it, I really was, but it is more difficult reading, so I was really in the mood for something lighter because times are getting so busy. So yeah, I definitely do recommend this book, and I think it's really good, but I just don't think I'm going to finish it because I've just had my fill of what she was serving up. So definitely recommend that, but yeah, that's gonna be a did not finish for me. So another one that I finished in the month of November, which I was really trying to get through before the busy season picks up, was Heidi. So this story turned out to be very touching to me in ways that I didn't expect because my Swiss grandmother had given this to me when I was a child, and I never got around to reading it because it was above my reading level at the time. And I didn't expect the story to be so much about God and about trusting God. And really the whole central message, the whole central mechanism of the story is having faith. And I did not know that when I picked it up. And that doesn't sound like my grandmother. So I was quite surprised. But it was just a really wonderful, touching story. And I can't believe that I hadn't heard of this more because it's such a wonderful Christian story. And it's very redemptive in that the characters in the story are not perfect by any means. They're very, very real, and they have very real foibles, and like some characters are not good and some characters are more good. The central message, I think, is that nobody is too far from God. And I think that just really spoke to me in this season of my life, that nobody is ever too far from God. I'm really glad that I read it, and I'm sure that I will read it again, and I'm sure that I will read it to my own children when I have children. So I very highly recommend that. So here's where the transition into December is going to happen. Things didn't work out exactly how I had planned, because this Hercule Poirot's Christmas, a holiday mystery, Agatha Christie, this was going to be the very, very first book on my December TBR. But I picked it up before December, and I ended up finishing it yesterday on December 1st. So it's not going to last me very long into December because I've already finished it. But it was really wonderful because it was just that good. It was just one of those reads where you get really sucked in, and the mystery was just so compelling, and the characters were very, very interesting that I just couldn't put it down until I was done. I think I was reading for just hours straight just to get through this one. I just couldn't put it down. So I really highly recommend this one. So I'm kind of looking for some more Christmassy type reads because I really want to read things with a Christmas atmosphere, and I find it's just hard to find good books that also have a Christmassy atmosphere. So I thought Agatha Christie could deliver on that. It is a very good book, but it doesn't have a very Christmassy atmosphere. So I was a little disappointed on that front of things, but I just enjoyed it so much I didn't even care. I kind of forgot I was even reading a Christmas book. It just really happens to occur at Christmas time. There isn't really anything Christmassy about it. So really highly recommend that, but not very good for the Christmas vibes, just saying. So let's see. So that was my first read for December. I've started a few others, and I have 2 more additionally that are on my list for the rest of the month. So I'll just go in order that I started them. So I picked up The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton because I've been kind of itching to start this one because it's just really caught my interest from the time that I picked it up at the bookstore. So I started it last night, and I'm not sure that I'm going to continue it in December because it's, again, a little bit heavy on the prose. I think maybe I'm just having like a slow brain month because there's so many mental demands at this time of year. But I think I just might not enjoy this as much if I try to push through it in the month of December. But I know that I'll enjoy it because it's a Kate Morton and I love her prose. So I might push this one off to January. At least it's moved down a little bit in my priority list, but I still really want to read this one. So that one's on the list for December. Another one that I picked up on a whim, totally on a whim. My husband and my brother and I went to an indie bookstore in town while my brother was visiting for the Thanksgiving holiday. And because we always go book shopping, my brother and I, pretty much whenever we get together, especially around Christmas, the bookstore is just the place that we go to get gifts and the place that we go to shop and have fun. So while we were there, I remembered that I wanted a copy of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. We were walking out of the bookstore and I hadn't bought anything. And I was like, there was something on my mind that I had wanted to buy. And I was like, oh, I wanted the Chronicles of Narnia. So I went back inside. Well, I can't say this now because I've begun it, but I've never read a word of the Chronicles of Narnia. And some of my closest friends, it was their very, very favorite book growing up. And I've never read a word of it. Like, I've seen the movie and I absolutely love Tolkien. So I just feel like this is going to be like a real favorite when I get into it. So I started it last night as well when I was going to bed. The prose is a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. I think I'm going to enjoy that right now. I think it's going to be a lot of atmosphere and a lot of moving story without a lot of mental exertion on my part. And that's really what I'm looking for right now, is just some immersive and relaxing and inspiring stories for this time of year. So I think this is going to be a really perfect Christmas read. Okay, so the next one on my December TBR, I really should start because I don't know when we're going to have our church book club again. We kind of just have it whenever everybody is done reading the book, so I don't think we're going to have it before Christmas. So I think I'll have time after Christmas to read this, but for my church book club, we're reading My Antonia by Willa Cather, which sounds really lovely. It sounds like a really great American story. It's not top of my list for being interesting right now, but I have a feeling I'm going to really, really love it when I do start it. So I'm just going to put this one on the list because it's one that I need to remember to start soon, but I'm just going to sink into kind of my whims this month because I just want to relax and enjoy myself. So this one's definitely on the list, and I think I'm definitely going to love it, but I'm not going to start it right away. And then the last thing that I'm definitely going to read in the month of December is A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens. I've never actually read it all the way through, which I should be ashamed of myself for. I know I love A Christmas Carol. I have seen so many movie and play adaptations of A Christmas Carol. It might just be one of my favorite stories of all time for any story. So I can't believe that I haven't actually read it. But I'm going to read A Christmas Carol before Christmas, and then in this particular anthology, there's another short story called The Chimes, a goblin story of some bells that rang an old year out and a new year in. And I'm definitely going to read that after Christmas, like in that interim period between Christmas and New Year, some of my favorite time of year. And I love the illustrations in this book, but especially this one. And I really want to dig into that at New Year times. I didn't know that Charles Dickens wrote a New Year's story, and I think that's going to be amazing. So that's the last one that's on my December to read list. So my camera happened to die just right as I was finishing this video. So I'll just pop in to say thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for talking books with me. And just a quick reminder that I am uploading Advent videos. I'm uploading one for every day of the month of December, and I hope you'll join me for those. I'm having fun making them, and I hope you'll have fun watching them. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.